Okay, yay. I think I'm here. Um, okay. So if you're watching this, I suddenly magically changed shirts, and it's not because I suddenly magically changed shirts. It's because I was testing the live stream earlier, and then I changed my shirt, and now I'm actually live and not just testing the stream. Okay. Hi. All right. So this is vision mapping. Wait, shit, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Fuck. Vision mapping 101. That's what this is. Vision mapping 101. And vision mapping is sort of the process that I have developed over the years to fix my life. It was a shitstorm for a long while there. Like, basically for all of it. And there's still shitstormy stuff going on, but it's getting cleared out. I think there will probably always be some sort of shitstormy stuff. It's life, and life is shitstorm. But I have gone from a very bad place to a very good place, and heading to really good place. So I am now sharing the process that got me from there to here, and that I am going through again myself to plot where I'm going from here next. Okay? We call it vision mapping. It's interesting because previously it was not a very visual process. Previously, my vision maps looked much like, well, let's see, like that, a whole bunch of words. Because I'm a very verbal person. I'm into writing. I love to write. I write a lot. Give me a pen and a notebook, and I can make some magic. I call myself a word sorcerer for a reason, because I can write stuff down, and it will become real. Of course, it's more than just writing it down, but I've decided this round of vision mapping for myself, I'm playing with stickers. And I kind of went a little overboard buying sticker books recently, but they're kind of magic. It's kind of fun, and it's kind of creative. So what is a vision map? A vision map is your guide from you now to the future self that you want to be. And it's a toolbox, really. It's a toolbox for creating that guide and following that guide so that you become the future self that you want to be. And there is not a set in stone process. You're going to test things. You're going to try things out. You're going to see, well, I think this is what I want, but is it really what I want? And you're going to test it, and you're going to find out. Little story. I'm going to have lots of stories. I'm going to mangle and mix up a whole bunch of metaphors. It's going to get weird, folks. It's going to get weird, but it's going to be great, okay? So this was, let me think. This would have been early 2016. I still wanted to be a billionaire. I know, wild to think about me, Glenn, wanting to be a billionaire, but there was a version of me in the past that wanted to be a billionaire. Now I think we should keep compost most of them, probably all of them, but I have a soft spot for one or two of them. So anyway, I wanted to be a billionaire, and I had this vision map all mapped out. This thing way I wanted to move to Chicago, and I was visualizing myself in a high-rise apartment, and I was running this multinational, massive spiritual business that branded under the name of Soul Click, which my Soul Click system is great, but it was that future version of me that I was working on was going to be a capitalist nightmare, and well, we can see where that I started to get towards that, and it was like, no. The very first thing I did was test it. I went to Chicago by myself, hopped on a train to Chicago, couch surfed with the rando, He was nice enough. It was a lovely, lovely trip, but Chicago was not right for me. And I was like, if Chicago's not right for me, then what else about this is not right for me? I kept getting pulled back to Flint, pulled back to Flint. So I come back to Flint. And I was like, all right, back to the drawing board. We got to remap this. What is it that Gwen really wants? And I had to go back to my past self, the me before I got to where I was living at that time. And what I really always wanted was the homestead. I wanted my own place, not a very big one. My executive functioning can't handle housekeeping in a very big place. I have a 2-bedroom house in the city, and even it's a little bit big for me. But I wanted my own place. I knew it needed to be in Flint. The river has claimed me. The city has claimed me. This is where I am for the rest of my life. So I knew this house needed to be in Flint. And I wanted to homestead. I wanted to grow all of my own food, or at least as much of my own food as possible. I wanted a DIY sort of lifestyle, but I also wanted a monastic lifestyle. I had always been kind of flirting with that, and I had joked that if I'd been born into a Catholic family, I probably would have become a nun. If you've been around a while, then you know that in the last couple of years, I've changed my tagline to queer heretic nun, because that's sort of the vision for my life now, is a queer heretic nun. The little summary of my business plan for this next phase of my life is monastic lifestyle blogger. I'm going to be sharing a lot of what I do as far as this next phase of my life, building out my property so that it's self-sustaining, so that my property feeds me. And doesn't just feed me, but I can also share with my neighbors, and I can share with others who need food. Building all of that, this next phase of development for myself, personally, physically, my body, my mind, my spirit. Where do I want to work on? What do I want to work on? I want to work on my fitness. It's not about losing weight. That's not the goal. The goal is I want to be stronger. I want to have more endurance. I want to be able to do the things that I need to do to run a thriving urban microfarm. So that's a lot of what my map is, the map that I'm working on. And it's not done. I'm still working on it. Guess what? This is not the only workshop. This is going to be a whole series of workshops. But we're going to start today with we're going to do a short meditation to connect you to a version of your future self. Now, I want you to think, if you know anything about sci-fi and multi-worlds, this is all theory. This cannot be proven. I'm not going to be one of those spiritual guru teachers that's like, quantum physics says. No, that's not what quantum physics says. This is all just a working theory, and we test the hypothesis. And if it works, then we do it again. And if it doesn't work, we figure out what went wrong, and we try it again. And we keep revising until we get what we want. Okay? So your vision map is your guide to become who you want to be. It really is a very personal thing, how you do it. Like I said, my past vision maps have been pretty much completely written. I can't draw straight stick figures, let alone anything fancy. My bullet journal layouts were very, very boring and very, very straight and very, very boxy, because rulers and lines and stuff. But lately, I have gotten obsessed with stickers. I showed you my stack of stickers. And I've been playing with them in my planner. And then today, I sat down and I started creating a vision map with stickers in my notebook. Everything's always in my notebook. I am hyper obsessed with notebooks. Notebooks are just amazing and the bomb. And I actually already have my next one ready for when this one is full, which is going to be quite a wise way, because I've still got that much of it to go. But anyway, so I started my vision map today. So we're going to share it, and I'm going to talk to you about how to start your own vision map, what you're going to do with it, how it's going to work for you. So first things first, vision mapping. And I am a very verbal person, so I have these word stickers, and I used a bunch of these word stickers. First, I put the sticker with arrows, and I wrote You have to know where you're going before you can create a strategy to get there. Now, I want you to think about this very, spend some time contemplating this, spend some time thinking about this. Uh, you have to know where you're going in order to create a plan to get there. If you just want to wander, that's great. Vision mapping can still be useful in creating a life where you can wander. Okay? So you got to know where you want to go. The reason that I focus on future self instead of any specific sort of goals is because in my experience, goals tend to flop. Something like 8% of New Year's Eve goals are New Year's Eve resolutions are met. The rest of them flop. That means 92% of New Year's Eve resolutions flop. Goals flop. The vision mapping process is about connecting to your future self, figuring out what your future self needs to become your future self, and creating a plan to make that happen. It starts with figuring out who that future self is, and this is where this page in my journal is this vision mapping. This is sort of my future self vibe, and actually the next several pages are that, but we'll go over that and we'll get there. So the vibe for my future self: she's happy, she's funny, she's silly, she's smiley, she's giggly, she's brilliant, and she's extra. There's hearts and arrows. The arrows come from this sticker that just really stuck me today. Follow your arrow. It just really got me today. And so for some reason, arrows have just clinging to me right now. Escape the ordinary is another thing with my future self. Of course, a couple of kitties. Collect moments, not things. She collects moments, not things. She's focused on the experience. She's very, very present. She's very, very there. This is something that's important to me as I'm working my way out of a depressed, dissociative state for the last several months, because while in many ways things are great and going the way I want, the house is mine, I've got the closing paperwork, and a real estate friend is helping me go through it to make sure that I'm not getting screwed in any sort of way. And then, so that will be sent in, and then they'll send me the deed, and once I have the deed, I register that with the county, and then it's bing, bang, boom, all done so. So I've got that. But in other ways, things are just not going the way that I would like them to go. And so that is my control freak nature. I know how I want my life to be, and it's not that way right now, so it's pissing me the fuck off. But I got to get the fuck over that. Because getting the life you want is a process. And if you get pissed off because you don't have it right now, then you're never actually going to have it. And that's just self-defeating. So what else do I have on this first page of my vision mapping is be present. Like I said, collect moments, not things. She's very present, so be present. Just be you. Outdream yourself. I don't know, that just kind of struck me. Be different, babe. And start today. I've been having a lot of fun with stickers. Now, if you're not a super visual person, start writing. One of the exercises that I have done in the past for connecting to my future self is to sort of create my ideal day, and I would start with this is how I wake up. And one of these specifically that I remember, you get careful what you put in these, because they're not all going to be there, but there's going to be details that are going to come through in weird sort of ways. They're going to be like, holy shit, I made that happen. Years ago, when I was still living in Narcissist Central, and I mean Narcissist Central, the house was run by a narcissist, and several narcissists lived there, and lots of screamy children lived there, and there was a constant rotation of not great people coming through the house. But it was all I could afford, and it was all I could manage, and so I spent 20-plus hours a day by myself in my bedroom. It was actually great. It sounds kind of horrific, and it kind of was, having to deal with people, but the whole getting to spend all my time by myself was, amazing! So but I couldn't have a cat, and I really wanted to have a cat. Really, really wanted to have a cat. And as I would get into the detail on this vision, I had two cats. I had one black cat and I had one white cat, and would wake up with them every morning. Well, I have cats. I got the cats. So be what you service the most. And I was really, really focused on having cats in that vision. Like, a lot of the other stuff never came through because it just wasn't important to me. But I got a cat. And I have black cats and I have white cats and I have tiger stripe cats and I have just cats and cats. But that's because I foster cats. Okay. So, if you paint your vision. If you are a writer, write your vision. If you're a sculptor, sculpt your vision. If you whatever way you best express yourself, create that vision in that way. But get it out of your head. If it just sits in your head, that's all it's ever going to do is sit in your head. And it's never going to go anywhere, and you're not actually going to be able to create the life that you want to create at that point. It's just going to sit there in your head, making you miserable because you're not doing anything with it. So get it out of your head. Get it onto paper. Get it into clay. Get it into whatever form it needs to be gotten into. Get it out of your head. Okay, so we're going to do a meditation right now to connect to your future self so that you can get that out of your head and into whatever it is that you need to get art, slap a bunch of stickers on a page. It's really, really fun. Write it out. Write a story of what your future self does. Their perfect day. I actually have a perfect day, but it's not the way I used to do perfect days. The way I used to do a perfect day exercise was I wake up and then I do this and then I do this and then I do this and then I do this. Now my perfect day is more about these are the vibes that I want. See the good. Oh, happy day. Choose joy every day. Big ideas. Be you, do you, for you. Present over perfect. Grow. It's better to take a risk than miss one moment of magic. Make things happen. Today was magical. Let's see if we can see that. And you can start to see my seasonal pages. This is no vision pages. We will get there, I promise. Yes, I know I'm babbling. This is practice. I will get better. We will be doing this every Thursday at 8 p.m. Okay, so I want you to stop, and I want you to pause, and I want you to focus. I want you to take deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just keep doing that for just a few moments. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Just keep focusing on your breath. And then I want you to imagine your future self. How far into the future this self is going to depend on where you are in your life. And so if you are feeling unstable and uncertain, imagine you at Christmas time. What is you in the winter, in December, around all of the holidays? If you're feeling pretty confident, you're feeling pretty stable, then imagine yourself a year from now or 5 years from now, even. Somewhere between next month and 5 years from now, there's a version of you ready and willing to connect. So connect to them. Just open yourself up. Don't overthink it. Just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and connect. If you see something, then allow yourself to immerse into that. I am not a visual meditator. When I close my eyes, it's just darkness. Maybe some of the light bleed through my eyelids, but I'm not seeing anything special. But what I do know about my present self, because I've already done this, I even created an aesthetics page for my future self. She has lots of pretty project paper. She is cottage core. She punches today in the face. I love these stickers. Punch today in the face. Wild at heart. She is wild at heart. It's time for an adventure. So much fun. Plants, succulents, cactus, pretty ribbons, pretty hearts, pastels. gold, black and white. Um, how do they talk? What do they do? You can do a step by step perfect day if that's what works for you. You can make a list if that's what works for you. Breathe in, breathe out, and continue to feel them. That connection might not be verbal. They might not say anything to you. It might just be a feeling. And if you don't feel anything, pretend that you do and keep pretending until you actually do feel something. Breathe in, breathe out. If you get distracted, come back to the breath. Find a version of you that's excited to be. Not necessarily excited about anything specific, but excited to be. And then find out why. Yeah, maybe you are making it all up. Well, who cares? Because at least you're making up someone who's excited to be, and if you become that made up person, then it will really be you. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And then when you're done, say goodbye. Disconnect and open your eyes. Now, I encourage you to do this again and again and again. It does not have to be some long, deep process. Your future self wants to be. If they didn't want to be, they wouldn't be connecting with you. Which later you're going to need to connect with your past self. I got to do that recently. It's cool as fuck. But we'll cover that more later since y'all are just getting started with this process. And yes, I'm smoking a vape pen. For the authorities, marijuana is legal where I live. And I think my vape pen just died. Son of a bitch. The other one I just plugged in. Motherfucker. Oh well, whatever. Okay. So the more you connect to your future self, the more you're going to start to get habits and projects that you need to start and that you need to work on. One of the things that I've gotten very clear on that is that my future self wears an all homemade wardrobe. I do not currently have an all homemade wardrobe. My sewing skills are not such that I feel confident about making a homemade wardrobe. But you know what? My future self wants it. So guess what? I guess I'm going to learn. There's projects. There's focus. There's things to do. My future self is a monastic lifestyle blogger. I was talking to my son today. He's like, what is that, Mom? I'm like, well, I'm taking divine vows to live a life as a hermit. And I'm going to share it with the world through YouTube, Facebook, and possibly Medium. Definitely my blog. And then I will be talking about much of what I've talked about the last couple of years as I've gotten to myself to where I have this life and I can have this life and I can continue to build on it. I am a very contemplative person. I am a mystic. Every once in a while I'll do a marijuana mystic. Ask me anything. Y'all know that. It's great. Might have to do those on YouTube maybe. That could be fun. Get stoned, answer questions. So I like I said, I know that my future self that I am experimenting with right now is a monastic lifestyle blogger. She's got a YouTube channel. She's got a successful YouTube channel. She's got a blog, and she's got a successful and active Discord channel where her community work comes together. Well, I'm already working on the Discord channel. I'm starting to work on the YouTube channel here. I just need to get my blog back up and running really good, and I need to get. But that gives me projects. That gives me focus. I know what my future self does, so I need to figure out how to start doing that myself. If I don't already know how to do it, there's something to learn. So then that's what my next page was. And conveniently, I had this little sticker that says projects and tests, and so I used that sticker. And we have a little bit of writing here. We have business development. Let's see if I can get this one. Business development. Hermitage development, that's the house. personal development. These are things that I want to do with my person that aren't tied to any specific location or any specific role or any specific way of making money or whatever. And micro farm development because that's that's the property, that's the yard and the gardens and getting food production up and running. And so then under each of these then categories, I then have some projects. So YouTube channel, Village Hermit blog, Discord channel, home and self alignment. Home and self alignment is getting my house situated and organized and designed in a way that supports my really quirky, weird brain. So my living room is not actually a living room. My living room is my workroom and kitchenette. My TV is in my dining room, and my kitchen is going to be turned into a little plant nursery where I'm going to convert the cupboards and I'm going to put LED lighting in there for starting seeds, for starting, and for propagating succulents. I also have grow rooms in the basement, and I'm going to have a green room in the back, and I'm going to have a hugelkultur mound and whatnot. But the home and self-alignment is about aligning my house organization with myself so that we work together, and I don't always feel like I'm fighting myself or fighting my house. As far as personal development, I put habit building and fitness improvement. I want to increase my strength. I want to increase my endurance. I want to be able to do more things. Habits. Some of the habits I want to work on, I want to get back into meditation. I haven't been meditating daily for like a long time. Like I got back from the retreat at the end of December. In January I did good with meditating, and February I did good with meditating, and then the world kind of went to shit in March, and it's kind of been a struggle. So there's some habits that I want to get working on. And then for micro farm development, the projects that I'm working on are clean up garden beds and I want to get my ponds running, so pond pump and clearing. And then I just also put some inspirational stickers here. Now, in your notebook, what you're going to want to do with your vision map is either have a dedicated notebook for the vision map. I've done that sometimes before, but now I just put it in my regular notebook that I use day to day. And I've used washi tape on the edges here so that I can flip to them regularly, because your vision map is something you're going to want to refer to a lot. Like, this is vision boards taken beyond. It's not just sitting on a wall looking inspirational. It becomes an anchor for you to keep pulling closer and closer to that future self. So I will daily flip to these pages, no matter how far into this notebook I get, I will flip to these pages to refresh my memory and to remind myself and to anchor back in to, oh, okay, that future self that I'm working on is cottagecore. Or that perfect day is present over perfect. I don't have to have everything perfect. I just need to be present for it. Seasons, I got this seasonal sticker booklet, so I decided to play with it, and it had stickers for a fall, winter, spring, and summer bucket list. So that's what I did. Is these are activities that I can do to ground my energy, to anchor myself into the energy of that season, because this is another thing about my future self, is she lives seasonally. And this is something I've already been working on with myself for the last few years, is getting into a seasonal shift. Like, cold months are soup season and warm months are salad season. But I want to much more anchor into those seasons. And where I live, they're not really distinct seasons, but they are 4-ish seasons. There's you got your fall, winter, spring, and summer. Define those months of those seasons for yourself. What feels right for you? For me, fall is September, October, November. Winter is December, January, February. Spring is March, April, May. And summer is June, July, August. That might be a little bit different depending on where you live, but that's where that works for me. So September, October, November, those things are going to make me feel anchored I like the word anchored more than the word grounded. When I talk about being anchored, I want you to it's a lot like being grounded, but I don't like the word grounded because I got grounded an awful lot when I was a kid, which means my brain has negative associations with that, and it's just not something I necessarily want to be, is grounded. But I do want to be anchored. Anchored means you're not stuck in one place. You still have this flexibility to move around. You're just not going to drift off into no man's land or into some rough waters where shit's going to hit the fan. Um, so I use cute stickers to create myself these anchor pages that when I feel like I'm drifting, I think, okay, this is the season that I'm in. I go to that season's page and I pick one of these activities to sort of anchor myself for fall, make a wreath, go on a bike ride, backyard camping, decorate a pumpkin, bake a pie, stargaze, relax by the fire, roast marshmallows, Halloween movie night. Winter. Winter was really tough to do stickers because there was a lot of Christmassy themed stickers, and I'm not really a Christmassy themed kind of bitch. But hot cocoa and cozy socks. Um, build a snowman, read by the fire, bake cookies. And again for spring, bake cupcakes, look for rainbows, spring cleaning. Just very basic activities that you can anchor into. Now, these seasonal anchor pages are an extension of my anchor days, my service days. My service days are a way that I anchored into my future self a few years ago, a couple years ago. It started with Thursday was money day. That was the day that I did my budgeting, I did my money magic, and so no matter how the rest of the week went, I always knew what I was doing on Thursday. Then it became, well, Thursday is money day, Wednesday is psychic DJ day. It was just kind of a natural fit because Mercury rules communication. Psychic DJ day is always about communication with the divine. Psychic DJ hour and psychic DJ day used to be really random, but putting it on Wednesday also means now my audience can expect it. My brain expects it, no matter what's going on in my life, no matter how crazy it is, sometime around noon, occasionally later in the day. But I rarely miss a psychic DJ day. I missed a psychic DJ day, the day that my ex-partner got shot that week. I missed psychic DJ day because I took the whole week off. I missed psychic DJ day a couple of times while I was at the silent retreat. But pretty much other than that, psychic DJ day, you pretty much know it's going to be every Wednesday on my Facebook feed. That's an anchor in time. It pulls me back in. It keeps me from drifting too far off. So then that got expanded to Tuesdays became Hex Day. Hex Day started last year. Tuesdays became Hex Day. And then Fridays became Blessing Day. Saturday is my planning day. I will show you my weekly anchor spread. Let's see, I have my Sunday is my self-care day. Monday is the reflection day. Monday is related to the moon. For me, it's about reflection. It's about journaling. It's about connecting back to it's the day that I make sure I deliberately connect back to my vision map. So Tuesday is, as usual, Hex Day. Wednesday is Psychic Teacher Day. Thursday is Money Day. Friday is Blessing Day. Saturday is Planning Day. Okay. And so these are ways to bring me back and keep me connecting to that future self so I'm focused on and continuing to be that future self. What else? It's okay to have goals, but don't put your goals in your vision. Your vision is less about what you do and more about who you are and how who you are does what who you are does, whatever that is. So it's not about, and you can have specific goals, but the goal isn't the goal is the vision. sounds a little bit paradoxically weird, but one of my goddesses paradox, so it's okay. Working through goals is a way to become who you want to be. The goal is not your end target. The goal is a milestone towards becoming who you want to be. So it's trying to figure out how to explain what's in my head is hard. I'm better at writing, but future self is apparently good at this video stuff, so I guess we have to keep working on it. Okay, so your homework is to start your vision map. You're not going to finish it in one setting. You're just not, like, at all. Like, I still have so much plotting and planning and so much distilling to come from this. Like, yeah, I know that my future self is a monastic lifestyle blogger, but I need more than that vague thing for a plan. So now I have to start doing the strategizing, and I have to start doing the planning, and I have to start figuring out what my future self habits are, and start figuring out what changes I need to make in my life to be able to accommodate those habits, so that I can live those habits for that future self. Because your habits make who you are. Your habits make your life. Like, flat out, your habits make your life. If you have shit habits, you're gonna have a shit life. Now, this doesn't mean your habits have to be rigid, just that they need to be growth habits. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. We will be back next Thursday. We will follow me on Facebook. I will be continuing to share my vision mapping process, but this is a start. Start your vision map. Decide what format you want it to be. Make sure it's with something that you're going to be touching every day. I have my notebook. My notebook habit is really, really well established. I have, just a second, I think it's back here somewhere. This notebook is full. Started January 1st. This one was started January 1st, and it ended July 15th. So half the year is in this notebook. It's got visions. It's got ideas that never. Ooh, Mad Camp. I'm gonna have to go through this notebook again. But there's early visions about how I was going to the vision for fundraising for the house. Guess what? The fundraiser for the house was successful. I raised $4,000 to buy my house in 3 weeks. Woohoo, go me. Because I was super clear on the vision. I was super clear on what I needed to do. And because I was super clear on what I needed to do, when I encountered obstacles, I was able to overcome those obstacles. I was prepared. Part of your vision map is going to be preparing for the worst. And preparing yourself for what you're going to do if things don't go exactly as you expect. Next week, the workshop is going to be I'm going to go into the BEND framework is what I'm calling it now. These used to be bitch slaps. It used to be bitch slap journaling, but now it's going to be BEND framework. And let me read this to you because it's too good. It's just too damn good. So BEND is BEND, boundaries, expectations, needs, and desires. You hold firm to your boundaries and learn to release your expectations. You be rigid about your needs and flexible about your desires. So we will get more into that next week. And it is a way of analyzing your life and yourself, figuring out where the gaps are. Those are your needs. Those are the gaps. Figuring out what your desires are. If you have been conditioned for any number of reasons, classism, sexism, racism, ableism, to suppress your needs, we're very often conditioned to suppress our needs and especially suppress our desires. You have to relearn how to want things even, and what you want, what your needs are. And so we'll start to go over, but it's a framework for analyzing your life, looking at where the gaps are and creating a plan to bridge those gaps. Um, it works. So I just know that it works, and now I'm teaching it. So all right. So put in your calendar next Thursday, 8 p.m. to be back here. The link will be on Facebook. I am working on ways to remind people. Shit, I forgot to remind someone. Fuck, I'm gonna have to apologize to her. Um, Decide how you're going to do your vision map. Is it going to be a story about your future self because you're a writer? Is it going to be a painting? Is it going to be a sculpture? Is it going to be a list? If you were a list maker, make a list of qualities that you want to cultivate in yourself. Make a list of what you want in your life. Make a list of what you don't want in your life. It's important to know what you don't want. Those are boundaries. This is what I want in my life gets to exist inside my boundaries. What I don't want in my life has to stay outside my boundaries. Um, so start thinking about the format. Start thinking about what it is you want in your life. Start thinking about what your perfect day might be like. My perfect day is very flexible, very flowing, very in the moment, very responsive, which is why now I have shifted from my perfect day is I get up naturally without being woken up, which actually that's still part of my perfect day. It would be wonderful. But I wake up naturally, no alarm clocks, nobody waking me up because I'm by myself and hermit and solitude and all that good stuff. And I get up and the first thing I do is go pee because that's the first thing that everybody does, and you better not deny it because you just know the bladder is full after overnight. Get up, go pee, get dressed, feed the cat. Because if you don't feed the cats, if the cats don't have food, they will cuss. And sort of go about my day. The very next thing I do is sit at my computer and check in with my Discord and check in with my Facebook group, and then from there. But I want my day to be flexible, which is why I don't have a strict schedule. But if you need a strict schedule, then create a strict schedule of your perfect day. Then you can start saying, okay, well, this is what's stopping me from having my perfect day. What do I need to do about it? Vision mapping is all about problem solving. It's looking at your life not in a judgmental way, not saying, well, my life is shit and this is the problem, which you can vent. Venting is great. But then once you've identified a problem, okay, well, this is not what I want. I need to figure out how to get what I want. Okay? All right. That's it because I'm just babbling now. All right. Bye, y'all.